What's up, y'all? It's Beneficial Bay here, and I am so thankful y'all came to the pull-up experience. I'm taking a break now because I gotta shout out my boy Steve at Alien Eyes Photos. I know y'all listening right now, but when it comes to the video production and getting all my angles together, Alien Eyes Photos is the team that I choose. Make sure y'all check my boy Steve out.
Great addition to y'all today. And we have episode 99, y'all. That Road to 100 is fastly approaching the one now. We have some great people on with us today, man. We got my man Terrence here today, and we have a lot of great special guest hosts with us today. We have my girl Samantha, and we also, y'all know, already know Brian, y'all. So we're going to have a good time today. And without further ado, let's introduce my man Terrence today, man.
Hi, my name is Terrence Glave. A lot of people know me around the city as Steel or Steel Biz. Want me to talk about what I do?
Yeah,
I do comedy. I write. I live. I learn. I offer knowledge.
Yes.
I take knowledge. I'm well versed with being human and giving and taking like we all do.
Yeah. And I love how you being modest, bro. Because if y'all ever look at his Instagram, like, I love the reviews of the books, you know what I'm saying? And, like, the knowledge he spits. And not just that, but the fact that, once again, he's had a different perspective to how we see things. And if y'all haven't, make sure, we'll have the show notes, follow him or whatnot, okay? So I want to start from the beginning, Terrence, man. And I know one of the things that we like to put on our podcast, we like to start with your origins. So when you were growing up, I know we talk about off camera about your origins from you being from Jamaica. Let's start from there, man. And let's start from how you transitioned from Jamaica to over here, and how that began.
Okay, I was born in Mandeville, Jamaica. It's a country part of Jamaica. I'm sure no one have ever heard of that. It's not like Kingston. It's not like Montego Bay. It's not like whatever else y'all heard of. But I was born in Mandeville, Jamaica. And my parents, my parents been together 50 years come December.
Oh, that's come on, we gotta clap that. Yeah.
I have two siblings, two brothers, and my parents, my aunt was the first one to migrate to the United States, and I think it's like 15 of them or something like that. So then my aunt, she filed for all her brothers and sisters that came here, and my parents got the opportunity to come here when I was 8, and my brother was 10, and my other brother was 12. And coming to America, which is a movie.
I'm gonna say this part 3 right here.
Coming to America was like a shocking experience. Just like, I mean, the first thing that surprised me when I came to America was white people.
Why you look at me when you said that?
No, not saying that you're closely related, but not saying
I am definitely a descendant.
but was white people, because I only saw them on TV.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I thought they were all rich, and then I moved to Cleveland. I thought that was far from the truth.
Did you go to the west side of Cleveland?
that a lot of us are struggling. Like, we struggle equally, but there are rich people as well.
Yeah.
But it was that was the first thing, like seeing somebody white face to face, and that's only seeing them on TV. That was like one of the most amazing things. And snow.
Yeah.
So 2 white things.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, 2 people in snow.
Not in Black History Month. We're not doing this.
no, but it was amazing for a kid that's 8 that never saw that.
Culture
And
shock.
it was just a culture shocking thing. And because I have nothing against anybody.
Again,
that's
y'all see the eye contact you made with me?
No, I have nothing against anybody that's different. I'm just saying, because our differences is what make us interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think our difference is when you add hate to those differences that makes it something bad.
For sure.
So,
That's
so that was one of the snow and the people.
All things white.
So growing up, was the aspirations always there? Like, okay, I want to be a comedian, or were you the class clown? You like, you know what, I can do. I want to continue going there, or
yeah. When I was in, my family always said I was funny, and they always laughed and stuff. And then when I went to school, everybody said I was funny looking. So it was like, because I was a fat kid, so I was like.
Cheers to the fat kids.
But it's crazy because I was like 350 in the 9th grade, and by the end of 10th grade, I was like 175. Like, because I saw a girl and I was like, I definitely can't be 350.
I need that type of motivation in.
But it was crazy because I was like, when I was in high school, I won most humorous, most talkative.
That's what's up.
And it's very interesting because when I went away to college, we kind of had something like that, and I won most talkative and most humorous there too. So, and people always thought I was funny. I used to do comedy shows when I was in college, and like I'll go around and do little stuff in town there and different places around and on campus, and everybody always thought I was funny, and I used to drink a lot back then too, so that made me funny. And it's like, even when I used to drink a lot and I got ignorant, it was like, he's just funny.
Yeah.
That's just him.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So I love comedy, right? And a lot of comedians say that like their pain kind of fueled their craft. Is that the same thing for you?
That is true because I know that I would be having a conversation with somebody. I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody that was doing the same thing too. And she's not a comedian, but she's pretty funny. And I know that we were having a conversation. I was texting her, and she would put laugh out loud for everything that's painful. And I would like have conversations about things that's bothering me, and it would be like I would add jokes to it because your pain, your trauma, whatever you go through, you try to find some type of comfort in it, or some type of way, not comfort in it, some way to comfort it.
Right.
So you add that comedy, and it becomes relatable. Like it's like you try to make those things relatable. Because one thing I understand, like I said, when I was in the 9th grade, I was 350. So by the end of 10th grade, I was 175. This is what I learned. The end of 10th grade, 11th grade. There's one thing I learned. As insecure as you could ever be, the people that you think are secure are probably even more insecure than you are.
Ooh. Yeah,
Know that.
Thank you.
I know it's long. Sorry.
Okay, by 50, like I have learned that insecurity is like because we don't really give psychology as much credit for what it does in humanity as we should, and because our experiences are what's the word I'm looking for? Our experiences is our evidence. Our experiences is our evidence to
That's
life,
good.
and how we deal with that. Maybe I should hit that again, but how we deal with life is based on our experiences too, and it's psychology. I'm telling you, like all of this is psychology. Like, but go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You said something that stuck out to me because I was told the same thing my whole life. On every report card, great girl, smart, talks too much in class. Talks too much in class. What can you say about the people that talk too much in class? Because there's so many people I know, especially a lot of creatives, that always say that's what they were always told growing up. You talk too much, you talk too much, you talk too much. Like, do you feel like you just being able to talk so much is what kind of help you build your platform?
I think that as far as talking too much, some people, we just have this thing about discovery, that we want to discover stuff. So our way of discovering stuff is talking to people and having conversations.
Right.
And I think that a lot of times talking too much in class too, sometimes kids are bored.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially like you said, you got great grades, right? That's how I was. True story, and that's crazy that you brought it up. When I was in the 6th grade, my teacher noticed that I would actually talk to all the other kids, right? And I would like do their work for them. Like, no, that was 6th. It was 5th. It was 5th grade. It was 5th grade. I would do their work for them, and I would do my work, and I would get like really good grades. And one day she kept me after class, and she was like, I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was because I would put on a show for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would make sure they did their work right. And she said, I noticed that you are bored with this. That you are bored. You need something harder to do. So then they put me in major works, and I wasn't bored anymore. And I was just like, I started failing some classes.
Look, shout out to the teachers for pushing us.
Yes,
Because there's some teachers that just let you slide and coast. But when a kid, especially with a kid with a creative mind, a thinker, will get bored. So you have to be pushed. So that, major shout out to your teacher for noticing that.
Yeah, she was Miss Abbott.
Abbott Elementary?
Shout out to Miss Abbott. She was a good teacher, and she said you're bored. You need something else to do. So they put me in honors classes and stuff.
That's what's up. And I don't know. I ain't saying this is a down for schools, but I don't know if school is the best place to cultivate certain gifts. You know what I'm saying? I think as parents, or as, you know what I'm saying, overall, or people can see the gift and be able to cultivate that. Because if you see a kid who talks a lot, obviously, hey, we need to put you on Disney Channel or something like that. Obviously, you can act well or something like that. I know for me, because like my son, same thing. My son, I would call from school all the time, like, yeah, Israel, he would cut up, get his work done, and start talking to other kids, start acting out. And once again, that boy didn't skip 2 grades now, because once again, the work was not hard enough for him and whatnot. And now we got him in code and all the other stuff. But I said all that to say is that don't whoop your kids. You get that back. If find out what the problem is and see if that's a gift that is underlined in school as a problem per se or whatnot. Because once again, you could be hindering that same gift. So
before they say they have ADHD,
exactly,
because they will diagnose you real quick with something like that, and it's just. As human beings, our minds have to be challenging us for it to grow. Yeah. Like, it has to be some room for growth. So, absolutely.
And, you know, plus school is like a business.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's kind of like sometimes businesses fail, and they fail certain workers. Sometimes they actually help certain workers, and they help certain people to become successful. And then, you know, school has that design where it's like prison too.
Yeah.
Where it teaches you certain, and you stay there all day. You can't leave.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not actually designed for one specific person anyway too. And when they can't understand what's wrong with that person, they put something on them. They put a mental health. You know what I'm saying? Which not saying that I do believe that there are people with mental health issues, and mental health issues are actually something that's powerful now. I'm glad we understand these things. But sometimes they want to put certain things, and that's being lazy. Just put certain things on certain people.
Being lazy and being greedy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United States of America.
So I got a question. What's the difference between a comedian and someone who, like you said, who's just funny? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference between the two?
Well, I think when you are
Good question, right?
You about to get deep.
No,
name drop.
I think the difference between a comedian and when you want to be a comedian when you're just somebody that's funny is you get paid for your joke. No, I'm just playing. No, but the difference between a comedian and somebody that's just actually funny is when you realize that you're funny, right? And you say, I want to be a comedian, then you need to study what it is that you're trying to do.
Kind of that, please. Thank you. That's good.
That's when
I know it's long.
you get. Could y'all get like a shorter one?
You know, I'm working on it. I'm gonna get another one.
Okay. Or could somebody just clap? But yeah, the difference between a comedian and somebody that actually is just funny is that the person that is actually just funny, they start understanding that there is a actual structure behind comedy.
Yeah.
And there's a structure behind keeping people's attention, and there's a structure behind how you execute jokes, and a structure behind how the jokes are told. It's because anybody can be funny in the lunchroom, but to hold somebody's attention for a long time, like per se, like an hour, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of, there's a different thing to it. So I feel that a lot of times because of social media, we want to do things, but we don't even respect what it is that we're doing. So it's like because we see it, and we see a monetary base behind it, and that's it. Yeah. That's the only thing that we see. We don't see the idea of doing what it is we love. You know what I'm saying? Because if you, I feel like if I love something, like let's say I'm in love with you, right?
Y'all heard it?
I'm gonna make sure I treat you. I'm gonna make sure I treat you good. I'm not gonna take advantage of you. I'm not gonna like just be like, oh yeah, I love you. I'm about to. Yeah, but every money I make is just mine. If you have a problem, I don't care about you. Yeah. I want to make sure I cultivate this relationship. So I feel like a lot of people don't really cultivate relationships or what they, because I see a lot of stuff that we do, and even like being like I see people with stuff because there's a lot of Tubi. There's a Tubi thing now, and I see a lot of stuff. I see people put stuff on Tubi. They be like really good.
No, hands down.
And they put that stuff together because they love what they're doing. It's just that monetarily, it's not really in their favor right now, or they don't know the right people. But then there's people that would just. I could have did that with my phone. Like I did that. I did that last week when I was with my. And I see some of that stuff, or some of them they think that they are doing the greatest, but they don't want to because people we so self-absorbed and be mental health too. We have like these ideas that in the black community we have that everybody's a hater.
Yeah.
Even if somebody's trying to drop you knowledge or trying to help you. Somebody want to see, but because we do have haters. We do have haters because there's a lot of people that don't want to see you successful. There's a lot of people want to see you successful until you actually are.
Come on now. That's going to be the time.
So, speaking of love, right? Valentine's Day is coming up. Shout out to all the lovers out there.
Yeah.
I'm with you too. So I have personally fell in love with the ideology behind purpose, right? So I believe God turns your pain into your purpose. You're a jack of all trades. You're an author. You're a comedian. Whatever the case may be, so on and so on.
Most
right?
Jamaicans have a lot of jobs, so go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, man. So, can you identify a time in like your comedic career where you was like, because I believe God turns your pain into purpose, and your purpose is to serve others. When was a time when you just noticed like, wow, I'm in this comedy, I'm really able to serve some people, really able to uplift some people, inspire. Like, what was that time where you was like, dang, like?
It was a show that I did. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the show. And what's her name? Oh my God, I feel so bad.
That's why y'all got to.
You don't know. We don't know either.
Yeah. What's her name?
Jane Doe.
No. I can't remember. I gotta remember her name. But I did the show with her, and she was like a bigger name in comedy than me. But she was headlining. I was a headliner for the show, and she came and did my show. It was my show, and I just see like all the people that I bought just from social media, and I was like, and my manager told me like, you got to do a whole hour. And I was mad, like I'm not doing no hour. Like, I can't do no hour. And then after an hour and a half, and see everybody still laughing, I was like, yeah, this is when I know. And I saw how happy everybody was. I was like, this is when I know that this is a part of my purpose being fulfilled right here. And that was your question, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the moments, yeah.
That's good.
And after she paid me.
So I want to transition because not only, like you said, you know what I'm saying, you have multiple jobs. I want to get into the writing now because you wrote for the Cap, for the Lick, and I want to get like how did that even come about? How did you say, okay, I'm doing comedy, but now I know I have a talent for writing scripts? How did that come about?
Okay, so I've written books before when I was younger. I've published books. Very bad editing, I would say that, and I learned my experience from like I need to get better editors.
Yeah.
But I had really good stories. Like the women that read the books like love them. Like the first book I wrote, it was kind of like I tried to write for like us. It was called Blackened. I tried to write for like us, but then I started realizing like
us. That's me too.
yeah. But then I'm talking about like men and women, but I started realizing that brothers don't even read.
That's sad.
A lot of brothers don't even read. Like I'm reading 2 books right now. You know what I'm saying? So I read a lot, but it was like I gotta read. So the second book I was like, I'm gonna write a book that women enjoy. I'm gonna talk to some women, see what they enjoy, and then I wrote this book. It's called Resentment, and like every woman I had read this book like really loved it. Like they enjoyed the book. It's on Amazon. I actually edited the book, and I'm going to republish it again because I didn't like the publishing the first time the book was done. But that's when I knew I know how people feel about my stories. I know how people feel about conversations when I have conversations with people. They're interested in what I have to say because I know how to tell a story, and it's just about putting it to paper and putting the idea together. Because you have to realize that. With the story, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then there's a lot of pieces that happen in there that makes it interesting. And that's part of what people really like about stories, too, is when they don't expect something to happen.
I know that, yeah. No.
When they don't expect something to happen. So I feel like we've actually been shopping this Resentment around, the book Resentment. If anybody's watching that, like, we've been shopping it around because it's a really good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I that's how, when I tell stories, I have it's a lot of meat in
there. Yeah. So, my bad.
Could you give us a little background on like why resentment? Because that's a powerful word. Right?
Why resentment? Because I don't know.
He knows why.
No, because the
I gotta
story
follow up,
because the story is not about me. It's a female.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a female character in the book, and her name is Danielle, and she's very successful. She's a lawyer. She's smart. She's the highlight of success, and she has two friends, Candace and Anisha. And in the book, these women have like this great relationship with each other, but everybody hates Danielle that's outside of them. Not because of her success, because Danielle's like, she's very promiscuous. And she used her promiscuity. Dang, I said the word. Promiscuity.
You got it.
Okay, as power. And the reason why the book is called Resentment, because Danielle is built like that because of resentment. Now, mind you, Anisha has a relationship with a guy, Romel, that hates Danielle because of, and then he has a best friend, Malik, in the book that comes along.
You give away all the juices.
Okay.
That comes along later. He's successful too, and he's like a great guy. And then Candace, he has a this is the last part. Candace has a boyfriend. He's from out of town. They met in college. He's a cokehead.
Wait, what?
Right. Now we gotta get the book now.
Wait a minute.
We gotta get the book now.
Cokehead's promiscuity. This sounds like my type of book right here.
He's a successful snorter. And he has a lot of money too, and he has 3 kids. You know, the first and the third are by the same woman, but the middle one is by a different one. Yeah, it's like,
Ooh, don't give it. I'm like, don't give it all away.
Time. So I got a question now. Are these based off of real people, or are these just
no? They're actually not based off of real people, but you do find relationships that you've had in the past, and you put them on paper. Because the young lady on the cover of the book, I know her. I know her. I know her really well, and she like they were like, "Is the book about her?" And it's not. Like, it's not about her. And then when I asked her, like, I told her what the book was about, and I was like, "Would you mind going to?" She was like, "Nah." She's like, "I don't care." It's like, even if they think it's about me.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
No, but the best stories come from based off of real life experiences and how you can kind of just navigate and narrate how the story is gonna go. Like,
it was kind of interesting talking to women and asking them about how y'all talk to each other. To be able to write like that too. You know what I'm saying? To be able to write like that, and they'd be like, "How you?" Like, because you know enough women, and you know how women talk when they write. Because I've been in situations too. Because I've had females that are friends, that are like, because I'm in a fraternity, and it'd be like females that are like in a sorority, and they'd be like there with their friends. I'd be listening to them talk. And I'd be nosy, but I'd be acting like I ain't listening. You know what I'm saying? I'd be listening to them talk like, man, they sound like us a little bit.
No.
but they actually worse.
So, like, in your opinion, your personal opinion, like, letting go of resentment of, business ventures, relationships, like, what do you believe a person will gain letting go of, resentment they may have?
You gain yourself if you let go of a resentment that you have, and that's something that is hard for me to do too, because you always feel like, the thing is, you always go into situations, you always leave situations feeling that you did everything perfect, and if it's replayed, you didn't do everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? Even if somebody like hurt you in situations, or like, let's say, it doesn't even have to be like a sexual relationship. It could be like a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people already tell you who they was, and then you actually, like, the whole time, and you actually expected them to be somebody different based on who you are.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
That part right there.
Let go and let God.
Okay? Let go and level up. Okay?
But that's a real thing, though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People need to hear for real.
yeah, resentment is just, it's so broad.
Yeah.
Like it's like resentment. I mean, there's not really a connection with the two words, but like gaslighting. Like, you could gaslight one person in a relationship. Like, I could gaslight you, because people use gaslighting wrong. They'd be like,
all the way.
They'd be like, gaslighting is basically me giving you a false reality of the idea of what's going on with you.
Oh, man.
You know, me telling you like me and you in a relationship, right? And I'm like, you love eggs. You ate eggs last week, but knowing you don't love eggs, but you start questioning, like, do I really like eggs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, do I really like eggs? Now, you could do that on a broad scale too. You know what I'm saying? Where we, like, you see people online, they be like, Like Kanye, when Kanye was like, he was gaslighting people, or like Trump gaslighted his way through his presidency because he made people question everything. Fake news, question your reality. You know what I'm saying? And resentment could be built big like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could resent you in a relationship, or I could resent people, a whole group of people. I could resent just, like, it's. Don't get me to talk.
No, you did. So I feel like we could skip a step. We went from you you started comedy, but we didn't get to when did the transition go from you like, you know what, comedy, but let me start writing these books. Where did that happen?
Okay, well, the books was way before the comedy.
Okay.
No, the comedy was way, because the comedy was like, I don't want to tell my age, but the comedy was like, it started in college. I was doing comedy or whatever. Then the books came later, because I always have a love for the art, and then I studied. When I was in college, I studied communications, and I was, and what did you mind? Really, yeah, and I was a minor,
out of here.
and I was a minor, and I minored in journalism, so I wrote too. Okay, yeah. So I wrote too. So it was always in me to do that. So when fast forward from college and then the writing, that I did the writing, and then social media. I used to do these little videos. And they'll be like 15-second videos, and I'm like, that. One of the videos went viral too, like millions. I made, you know how much money I made from that video?
How much?
Oh, I made nothing.
Look, we was all excited,
because I saw it on somebody else's page. They sent somebody sent it to me and was like, oh, this, and I'm like million views, and it was like it went viral, and then like people started hitting me up about doing comedy, and then Peacock, shout out to Peacock, she had hit me up and was like, yo, could you start doing comedy? And I'm like, because I watch your stuff, I see you, and I'm like, I kept ignoring her. And she was like, yo, because I want to manage you because you do comedy. I kept ignoring it. And she was like, well, you could make some money from doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, money.
Say that part first next time.
So I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, money. So then I started doing comedy with her. And that's how that came about. She hit me up online, and then we met one day. And this was, you talk about the scripts too. Well, the scripts, the first movie that I did, it was just to help put the movie together though. But I'm trying to think. The comedy came right. The movie was Johnny had asked me. Johnny.
Shout out to Johnny, by the way.
Yeah, Johnny Lumpkin had hit me up about helping him with a movie because he used to watch my stuff on, because he wanted me to do a part in this movie. So he had hit me up on Instagram. We didn't even know each other. He was like, "Yo, I want you to do a part." So I helped him with life lessons when he did life lessons.
That's what's up.
And then right then I was transitioning to do the comedy thing, and then so that's how that I didn't write on life lessons though, but I wrote on the cap. On the cap, I wrote on the cap, and with the cap, it was more of a structure, right? So it wasn't like a story per se. I did help with the story, a lot with the story, but it was more of a structure. It was more for structure to give it more of a structure, because it was like he gave me a lot of papers. Yeah, and it was like, could you put this together? Could you know how to put this structure together? So that's what I did.
I got a question about writing. So is there a thing such as writer's block? And if so, like, how do you overcome that?
There is a thing called writer's block, because I'm going through it right now. And how you overcome it is just start experiencing. That's just start experiencing, and then you will eventually overcome it. And I think the writer's block that I'm going through right now is because I want to write something. And it's funny what I want to write, but I don't want to write it. But I do want to write it.
You better down for me, bro.
I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to say it here, but
I mean,
it's
almost episode 100. You might as well go ahead and let
no,
us
I want to write. I want to write something kind of funny about like these local things that we do together, like podcasts, plays, movies. I want to write something called Local.
I like that.
And I would like to be a part of Local. Y'all heard it here.
Yeah, and I want to center it around Dang, I can't say because then somebody can steal my idea.
No, you
Yep.
good. You good. You good.
Yeah.
You good.
But after we get off the camera, though, I do want to tell y'all about it.
Bet.
What do you mean by experience, though? Like, overcoming that writer's block. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you...
Oh, just keep living and keep doing stuff every day. Get into a relationship. Go to work. Start doing something. Start reading a book and start arguing with somebody. That's an experience. Go to the gym. Sign up for something. Like, experiences will give you a lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you a lot of emotion. It'll give you a lot to feel, a lot to like to go on that side of your brain, your creative side, because that's what experience does.
Yeah, and I can attest as a also communications major, journalism minor, writer, that sometimes you just have to step away.
Right.
And when you said go live life, you literally have to say, okay, you know what, I want to write. I don't know what I'm going to write, but I'm going to put it on pause and just go and see where life takes me.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when you take a step away, that gives your brain some free space to not have to think about what you got to write, what you got to do, layouts and all that stuff.
Right.
So when you take a break, like taking a break, going to another country, seeing all these things happen, now you can go home and write about your experience.
Right.
So you have to be in the moment, living your life to be able to create. Because otherwise, where are you getting all these, where are you filling yourself up at? You know what I'm saying?
That's
You
good.
can't just have creativity just out of nowhere. Like, you have to experience life in order to be creative. And that writer's block is so
It's
real.
great. And remember, like, your story is not exactly the story. So the experiences that you have could just be little bits and pieces of it. So it don't have to be the exact idea of what you're doing. So it's like I went down the street to buy some ham at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying?
No eggs.
It could be like I went down the street. You could have bought eggs in your story, and you could have got into an argument with the cashier, even though you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because these experiences is just like making you find these things.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this could have been how it went down. Yes.
Yeah.
So you gotta have someone with imagination to be able to write or whatnot. That's what's up. Okay, so I got a question because, and once again, shout out to you, man, because you were multi-talented. I don't want people to negate the fact that all these things create. You have to be an intellectual person to process things. Like he was saying, how you have to structure these writings, the comedy. All these things mean you have to structure these thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want people to miss that very fact right there. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to ask because I know once again you had the books and then you writing the script. So we went from life lessons to the cap. Now let's talk about the lick.
Okay, so let me see.
Shout out to the crew.
Shout out to Rick Walker, man.
Yes, shout
one
out
of
to
the
Ricky, man.
greatest people. Darius cameraman, one of the greatest people. The actors, man, everybody on the lick. Man, everybody on the lick. I shout out to all of y'all. But I met Rick actually at a radio show that I used to do. A radio show I used to do.
Time, bro. I didn't know you had a radio show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, here we go. What else?
Yeah, so I met Rick, but he came with them, and it was like my first. It was CSC Posse. So I met Rick there, and we showed up to the cap. I showed up to the cap, and it was like, this the dude that I met at the radio show. And then we started working on the cap together, and then he saw how I work on the cap.
Yeah.
So then when he went, and he was already doing the lick.
Yeah.
When he was continuing to do the lick, he was like, yo, you got to come on and write, because we clicked. Like, he was cool, and we had different types of creative. You know what I'm saying? We had different types of creative. Like, and Rick is like really, he understands. This is Rick. Rick understands the process, and Rick understands where he's trying to go, and Rick understands what he's trying to do, and Rick is very disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, shout out to that man.
Rick is very disciplined. If Rick want to do something, Rick gonna do it, and he gonna make sure he do it right. And with me, I'm more of a scattered creative. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I'm all over the place, and I'm like putting. I'm saying, but it sound good. And Tish, shout out to Tish. Another writer, Tish, and me and Tish would get together, and and I would write stuff, and I ain't gonna lie, I love writing on the lick because I was watching a scene the other day, And I was like, I felt like a little kid because I was watching the scene, and I'm laughing watching the scene because the cameraman he had came by. He was editing the scene, and me and him sitting there laughing watching the scene. And I said something like a little kid. I was like, I wrote that.
That's dope.
And he looked at me like, you know that teacher that's proud of you.
Yep.
He's like, you did.
Yes, you did.
he was like, yeah, that's good. It was funny. I was watching. I was like, I'm gonna tell you what scene. I'm playing, but it was like, I love writing for the lick. I love writing for the lick. It's funny because I haven't written for the lick in a while, and I was talking to Rick. I was like, start back writing for the lick because I've been doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And I done had so many injuries this year.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to start back writing because that was a great experience.
No, like I said, shout out to the lick. They're doing their thing, man. They and I gotta say because. How I say this, Cleveland has a stigma, like no one knows Cleveland for its production, for its film, for its TV and whatnot, right? But the Lick is literally, they're on Tubi, by the way, when you get a chance to see what we're talking about, look at the Lick, but the production on it is phenomenal. It puts me back at, I used to watch The Wire all the time as a kid. I'm sorry, Mom, I know I shouldn't have been watching it, but I was watching it, you know what I'm saying? And it puts me in reminiscence of that, but our version of it per se, you know what I'm saying? It is dope to see that something like that is being created here in our city, man. Yeah. So it's like, shout out to them brothers, man. Shout out for you contributing to that. 'Cause once again,
Yeah, and I actually acted on the Lick too.
I think I seen that. I think I seen that.
My acting was pretty subpar.
You see, do good, better at writing. No, I feel it.
Yeah, it was like I just think I don't know why I didn't. I acted on the Cap too. People said I did really great on the Cap, but it's just I don't know. Sometimes just watching yourself, you're like, that's.
No, I get it.
We are toughest critics of ourselves.
Yeah, toughest critics. And then it was kind of like when you think about it sometimes when I did the Cap, it was kind of like they told me that day I got to do a part, so it wasn't like like everybody else got a script but me.
Right.
Like so it's like they was like you could just do your thing. And I was like, damn, I gotta do my thing.
So improv, huh?
Yeah, it was very improvisation. Come on, communications. Improvisational.
Wait, what?
Improvisation. Yeah, thank you. And I'm a word person too, but I don't know how to say them.
Well, next book you pick up, get you a thesaurus and start speaking them words
which
out.
is actually funny because in my phone,
He better not.
no, I actually write down every word I see in books.
Oh my gosh!
Don't know the definition.
Yo,
if I don't know
that's a real. That's some dedication.
That's
right
dedication
there.
right there. No.
Listen.
And I never use them because I can't pronounce them. But I
You better
but I know what they mean.
You better look up what's inside the parentheses. You better start clapping out them syllables.
I use the word on the wrong context. Like, you know what? This is some real constitution right here. This requires a constitution of some sort.
The only time I use a word out of context is if I know this person's stupid. And I know they ain't gonna know what it means. And it's like I'm like, this is fundamentalist. That ain't even a word, but they looking at me like he's smart.
No lie, but a dumb person would be like, ooh,
yeah.
Look at that vocabulary. Be like, you is so simple.
Yeah, I have been in situations where people have said words and used the wrong word, and I would like correct them, and they would be like, they get mad, like, why are you like correcting me? Because I'm not an idiot. I told somebody one day, I said the reason why I corrected you is because I don't want you to do that in front of anybody else.
Right,
correct.
that's good.
Because they were really
that's
tear
real
you
love.
up.
Yes.
They were really tear
Okay,
you up.
because definitely on social media, I stay on somebody's page saying
Oh,
two and two.
Man.
Okay, sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss, sweetie.
Oh, when you remember, everybody was crazy during the pandemic, and I remember I did something really stupid like during the pandemic where I was arguing with somebody about antibiotics, but I knew the answer. I know you take antibiotics when you have when it's bacterial.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, but I was not thinking, and I said because you have a virus, I was like, you take antibiotics. So I'm arguing with this person. They blocked me, but it's so I'm like, please don't block me so I can tell you that I know what I know, because I was just in the moment because I wanted to tell everybody how stupid they are, but I was like, I'm like, how you could somebody call them, but I didn't know their number. They didn't know me. So I was like,
You said block me so I can finish my conversation.
like, block, because you probably telling everybody I'm stupid. You probably walking around with your phone like, look.
Screenshot.
Look what this dummy just said.
Look, it was COVID. I mean,
it was. I had a book club during COVID too.
see,
Yeah. Man, look, every time we were raveling new things that
right. What's the next job?
It was actually, that was crazy with the book club during COVID. The crazy thing, book club during COVID. I was very proud because there's a lot of brothers in the book club.
That's
You know what
what's
I'm saying?
up.
They was quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them was quiet. I saw the one of them in the gym the other day. He was like, yeah, man, I was talking to my wife about the book club just the other day, and here you go. I saw him at the gym. But they were quiet. A lot of brothers was quiet in the book club, but the book club, it's too warm outside for the book club right now. But
it's too warm outside. You know how Cleveland do. Cleveland do when it get warm outside, brother.
When it get warm outside, it's over.
Yeah, but it was a lot of brothers. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. But during COVID, I had the book club. It was a lot of brothers in the book club, and it was really good. The first book we read was Kindred. Y'all seen the web series?
I ain't gonna lie, no.
On Hulu, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
So
oh, I do know what you're talking about. Kindred. Okay.
Kindred, it was a really good book.
Okay.
So I'm glad you let's transition to my next question, because we're talking about the past, talking about the present, we're talking about the future, brother. Because I would love to see one of your books turn into a screenplay or to a feature film or whatnot. Is that next step for you?
I want Resentment. I like anybody that's trying to, if y'all shopping for like a script, Resentment, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Sign this non-disclosure and I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, so Resentment. And the book that I'm writing, did I already say the name of it? I shouldn't say the name because
don't say the name.
No, yeah, but I say the name of it. But that I want that to be like, because I have never seen anybody put anything like that on film.
That's good.
The only time I've seen something like that, I can't remember the name of the show, but it was a show that was on, I think it was on Hulu, and I can't remember what it's called, but it was a show about a reality TV show. It was a show about a reality TV show, but they were like behind the scenes, what happened on a reality TV show, and it was good. Like, it was a good show, but it got no pub, and you know how we could be sometimes. Some of us be like, if we don't see enough of us on there, we like.
You ain't never lie.
Give me 3 minutes.
I was about to say, you ain't never lie. I got 3 character black minimum. If you ain't got 3 characters or more, I can't rock with it.
But I feel like it's entertainment, and sometimes you just got to get up out of yourself and just watch.
Yeah,
you just got to watch it, like, because there's some really good stuff that don't have us in it. I know sometimes it is. You do want to recognize and realize that we are a part of this whole thing too. So you want to see something that look like you there. Yeah. But sometimes I have watched things where I'm not there at all, and I've enjoyed it. Like, this is like really good. But I like the fact now that they are trying to put us everywhere. Yeah. And they are trying to, like, I know that we still have a lot that's going on because of the psychology in America and how it have messed up everybody. Yeah. There's still a lot going on, but you do get to see a lot more of us. Like, you go on Netflix, we got a quota.
Yeah, I was about to say
we got a minimum.
Like, I'm like, we got a little corner on there.
Yeah. Y'all ever watch the old show? Y'all ever watch Three's Company back in the day?
Yeah.
You ever seen one of us on there?
No. I was like, every once in a while.
I might have seen a distant cousin. Like,
you never seen a black person on Three's
Company. Oh, no, I'm talking about the Hispanic people. Like, every once in a while, drip.
Yeah, but then I saw, like, on Three's Company, I saw a black person. I'm like, ain't no black people was on Three's Company back in the day. It was like an extra or something.
Right. No prime character. Like Friends. No offense to Friends. I think the only person we had on there was Gabrielle Union. And that was like further into
almost.
And didn't one of them date a black girl?
Yeah, it was Jordan Ross. Now, I ain't gonna lie, back in the day when we had cable, unfortunately for us in the hood, the only thing we had was Friends. So I'm Friends here.
I have never seen an episode of Friends. That's crazy.
Get out of here.
Not at all.
Like,
your homework is to watch season 1.
To go to sleep. Like that's what.
Oh wait, so other people do that? Put on something to go to sleep.
Oh
too?
Yeah, that's one of my.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is one of my go to sleeps. The Hobbit is like my go to sleep.
Okay.
Like, I need something long so I can go to sleep.
You know what? Now I think about it, I watched all of Game of Thrones, and it was rarely us in there. The new series has us in there, but the old one did not. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. That's a great example of something that was so good. I'm like, damn, this is good as hell. But ain't none of us in there.
And I think that it's very important that they put enough because we are black people in America now. We are dealing with a lot of trauma, even trauma that does not exist.
Yes, and I love because we talked about that before off camera. You bring up a great point. You were talking about how. Unfortunately, with Black History Month, that's all we kind of see is a trauma that we as a people have endured, versus seeing the triumphs in the things that. And I hate how slavery. Black history didn't start with slavery, guys. I'm sorry, much love, but you think so. But how we have to get out of that mode or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, oh yeah, it started in 17 something. I'm sorry, it wasn't slavery. When they started bringing people from Africa over here to America, that was the beginning. It was way before that. We are literally inculcated in every part of this world, one way or another, if you think about it. I remember I love this quote that said, the deeper you dig in the ground, the more of us you see. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out
Look, it's Black History happening right here, y'all.
Like
here.
It's a book I'm reading right now called Cuba and American History, where it talks a lot about black people being in those countries before being a part of just being a part of life, and how this whole miseducation of where everything actually comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what we were saying about trauma, about black trauma, sometimes trauma is just taught to us so much, and I'm not saying that that nothing happened. We know that systematic racism that comes from slavery and oppression is a big part of why the psychology is what it is in America. But it's a continuation of us just living with those traumas and only to understand that that's all you are. I feel like it's damaging to us. Like, I had a conversation in the barbershop. I don't want to go too long, but I had a conversation in the barbershop. Okay, good. I had a conversation in the barbershop the other day, and I was in there, and we were talking about the police, and they were telling me how nervous they are when they see the police, and they were like, and they asked me, am I nervous when I see the police? And I said no. And they said, why? And I said, because I understand. I get it. I get that you are going to, because I've been in situations where the police pull me over, right? And I know, like, dude, why you got me here this long? But I'm not gonna live my life based on this, because that's messed with my mental health.
That's good.
That messes with my mental health. So I'm not gonna be this, because I felt like when I said that, they felt like I wasn't down, like because I wasn't trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's good.
Like they like, oh, the only way to be down, and I was like, well, why aren't you like? I was like, well, I am a little nervous. They was like, why? They was like, oh, okay. Then they felt comfortable. I said, yeah. I was like, because I don't want my insurance to go up.
Okay, let's be for real.
We said that.
Let's be real.
And they looked at me like I felt like I was on Friends. They're like this. They're like this. And I said that, but it's not that. I'm not trying to negate the fact that black people have been through something. I'm not trying to negate that fact. It's just that I just know that it's not healthy to only live your life based on trauma. And sometimes you teach younger people, like, when you see the police and you get pulled over, you teach them to be so scared or to be so it's like not even like a normal way to respond to being pulled over, to where they put themselves in more danger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because when you pulled over, I was talking to talking to my father. He was talking about he was like telling your nephews. I gotta tell them, put your hand on the steering wheel, and I was like, don't tell them to put their hand on the steering wheel, but don't tell them to be scared, because because this dude that graduated with all C's is looking at them like why is this dude so scared? So it starts a confrontation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys still teach people if they know that they're doing the right thing, to act human in that situation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of that it doesn't serve you any purpose. Because I see there's people that's addicted online to that trauma, and like sending me stuff all day, like all day, and it's like, how much are you getting paid for this?
Listen,
how much is this taking care of your kids? How much is this bettering the community for you? If you actually are such a leader of this, and you feel like you own so much of this to be the voice of reason behind it, give me the rationality and the reasoning why you're sending it so much. I don't want to be a part of the trauma.
Listen,
I real quick, like, even in regards to you talking about the trauma, and even going back to when you were talking about you watching Friends, like, I believe that, like, that is a way of you coming out of your comfort zone. And, like, how rewarding and, like, what opportunities have, like, developed for you with you, like, being a person that, get out your comfort zone when it comes to certain things?
That's funny.
He good at this, man.
Yeah, he is.
Don't provoke him,
man.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's because he got on that turtleneck, y'all. He got
that's that Zeus suit, that brother. That's that new age zoo. Yeah. As far as like, I was at the gym, right, and I was talking to this young lady. She was a Caucasian female. She graduated from Northwestern, so her parents got money. And she was like, I was like, what's the best book you ever read? She was like, People We Meet on Vacation. And I was like, I ordered the book, and I'm like, this is getting out your comfort zone, like, because I'm a black man from Jamaica, moved to 131st over there in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So People You Meet on Vacation. That sound like Reese Witherspoon's is in
Sounds
there.
like the whitest book ever.
and it was. And it was, because I was like, I'm gonna read it. It was the last book I read last year. I'm gonna read it for the review. But guess what? I enjoyed it because I saw something different from a different view for somebody else. That was like, and it actually, the book actually, I see that it can help my writing. Because it is a bestseller. It is a bestseller. I mean, it wasn't like I won't be reading a whole book. I won't be reading part 2. You know what I'm saying? But I could see that sometimes leaving your comfort zone, just like we was talking about. Y'all said watch those shows too. Y'all don't understand. It's a lot of stuff that you could learn because a lot of different cultures structure things different, and sometimes a lot of different cultures have more structure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They have more structure. But the great thing about us is we don't. You ever watch a black person dance? We don't need that much structure. You ever watch a black person dance? But you ever watch a white person that can dance? A white person that can dance, they be concentrating like a mother.
It's one and two.
But they still can dance because they concentrate like. But a black person can dance, they be chewing and eating gum, and they be like, how they do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we got that natural artistic back to Africa thing going on with us. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I feel like because there are certain things that they do that I'll be like, wow, let me add this to this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, or let me read this because this is very interesting. I don't read book based on what color the person is that wrote the book. I do read black literature, but I don't have to read mainly black literature. I'm saying right now I am reading a book by
It's February now.
Yeah, right. I am. The book that I'm reading right now is by Ta-Nehisi Coates. We were 8 years in power, and I am also reading an American history Cuba. But before that, let me see what did I read before that. Before that, I read. Let me see. Was it black?
Do you have like a listing of your top 10 books you should read?
Before that, I did read something black. I read Open Waters, and then do I have a list? There's so many books that I've read, but I read Dark Psychology and Gaslighting and Manipulations. That's not black.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have a listing of top 10 books? I should put one together. Huh?
You saw it here first.
Right.
I should
Shout out to Sam, man.
Okay, I want my credit.
I should put one. I think the best book I read, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I feel like everybody should read this book. It's called Happiness Hypotheses, because a lot of those self-help books that try to get you together, they're all the same book. Like, don't let nobody fool you. Yeah. Like, a lot of those books are the same. They're the same book.
For sure.
Man,
they just got a different cover. But that book had so many gems in there that was different. And I really, because all you got, if you ever notice a book notes is bigger than the book.
The actual book, yeah.
Yeah, that's because they're telling you who they stole the information from.
Oh.
Yeah.
Expounded on the information.
Yeah.
I remember The Secret. I read The Secret, and I remember reading that book. I read that book like 22, and I remember every book after that, like you said, it was just like it's kind of like the whole manifestation type ordeal, you know?
Yeah. It gives you an idea of. Yes, I'm trying to become this better person, and this is how I'm going to become this better person. Mm-hmm. And then they go to somebody else, like, how that other person tell me to become, okay, I'm going to add mine with this, too.
Yeah.
Right,
And what was that one book that I read? I can't remember. It's a book that I read, and I didn't like the book, but it was one chapter that was so good. I'll think about it.
So I got a question. Hardback or ebook? You actually have to have a physical copy in your hand?
I have never ever in my life read an ebook.
Get out of here. Okay.
Like, and I got an iPad. I have never
It's just something different about
opening the book and turning the pages.
Even the smell of a book. I used to like the library a lot.
Oh, you a nerd. Oh, you got picked on too.
Oh, I did.
And it's funny because I remember I used to like not tell nobody I read.
Yep.
I like being younger, like would not tell nobody I
That's
read.
wild.
Because they would be like, and then when I realized that they can't even read, it was like, yeah, I
That
mean,
explains it.
That explains everything.
And a lot of times too, we cannot read. A lot of times people are literate, but they can't read. Yeah, people. Because I remember like a while when I was younger, but I was a weak kid, so I don't know the excuse for these people now. But I remember like reading is like. You can read and be able to know the words and know what it is, but you have to be able to put the story idea together in your mind and continually knowing where this is, because it's hard to do that. Because I know people that I think that a lot of people got ADHD. They have like what's another one? Okay,
Instagram overload.
No, they have certain things that they can't. Their attention, they can't hold their attention to like really put that whole book together. The whole idea of that book.
And I know you said earlier, like that sporadic thing. You see it too often with people. They'll put something together and like it be so sporadic. But I've literally seen where that. So it'll be two different people. You got the people who do sporadic thinking. They'll have great ideas here, and there, and then it takes somebody like you said come outside like, okay, piece that together one whole thing. Like how you said the structure for the cap or whatnot. Same ordeal, whatnot. Yeah. And but once again, I think this episode let me realize there are different modes of creativeness that we all specialize in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out to the different creatives, and once again, if anything, learn how to capitalize on how you are as a creative and whatnot.
Because I can say that I have enjoyed myself today a lot, and I know that's not a big word, a lot, but like. Yeah, I really appreciate this. Like this,
no,
y'all been amazing.
We appreciate you, bro. Because like I said, hey, because I love what this podcast does, because once again we have great minds like yourself, and this is a different perspective. Because y'all know, podcasting is literally my university. You know what I'm saying? I ask questions I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Right. Y'all so happen to be here. You know, let me say it like that or whatnot. But I get a chance to pick the minds of great people and whatnot, and it helps me. And I know it helps y'all because obviously I watch it. But the whole point of this podcast, there are great people inside our city. You won't have to go outside of our city. You know what I'm saying? We have great people here that are doing these great things. So that's why I love this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make it possible. So thank y'all for that. So transition to my question is, once again, we created this podcast because you got Atlanta, you got California, you got places all around the United States where there are hubs of black creative, black entrepreneurs. And we literally said we need to have that here for our city. But unfortunately, our city has the stigma of us not coming together, right? My question to you is, you have been an example of collaboration. How do you think we can fix that so we can stop that stigma from being that for our city? Just
do like what I do, like collaborate with certain people for a while, and then when they start getting on your nerves, go collaborate with more. I'm joking.
You joking, but it's true.
No, she right. No, because it's like, because you start realizing, like, you know, you have creative differences. I'm creative, they're different. So I'm joking. I know we're not. I'm like, no. It's kind of like you do have to realize that sometimes you overstay your welcome certain places.
Yes.
You do realize that.
It's long ass button, but you know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, I need to hit that.
Identifying those seasons in the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not that these are like bad people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like okay, we did this. Because a lot of times when you leave, because I don't have people follow me and follow me again and unfollow me and then follow me. I'd be like, man, I'd be like, we're in a relationship. Because this is
toxic.
This is weird. And people I've worked with, this is weird. But for the most part, I could say that 85% of people that I've worked with in Cleveland probably tell you, like, yeah, I will work with Terrence again. I've worked with, because I'm about to say,
listen, Ricky once again was like, man, y'all get Terrence on.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, but it's like, I'm not saying that the people that I have worked with and it didn't work out, it's their fault. Yeah. It's just that we have different ideas. Right, we have different views, and it's kind of like, it's supposed to happen how it's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I wish them the best.
That's good.
Yeah.
I guess.
But you know what? That level of understanding your creative genius, knowing that, okay, you know, we've done this project together, it's time for us to kind of navigate some different ways, learn some new things. connecting with different people, because then you never know, you might have to circle back around.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, with Darius, the cameraman for the lick, the guy that's cameraman for when I did comedy shows, he was my cameraman. I brought him over to Life Lessons. I brought him over to the Cap. I brought him over to the Lick. Because some people you just work well with. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
and I know Darius has an idea, and we think alike. And plus, we both alpha men. You know, we both rap brothers. So it's like put that. Sometimes,
office, man.
Yeah, sometimes you are able to to work with people on a long-term basis. And I think that we need to start understanding that it's not really I hate you, that's why I'm leaving this project. And that's the problem when you ask a question about people like leaving and having resentment and stuff, because it's always because hater is the thing in the black community. I remember I used to work with I don't know if y'all know Philip Wheaton. Like I remember, okay. No, Philly was on.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I remember I used to work with him back in the day, and when he first started, like way back in the day. And I was like, I'm about to leave to go write books because they used to talk. We grew up together. We didn't talk to the kid. And I was about to, if we was out here together, we talking about it. But I remember I was leaving to go, and I was like, I'm about to go start writing my books and stuff when he had first started his business. And I remember the last thing he told me, like he was like, man, we always family. And because I expected to go in that to tell somebody I ain't working with them no more, knowing that it's not because I feel any way personal about you. It's just I wanted to do something myself. It was crazy that he understood that. You know what I'm saying? And he was like supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like very supportive, because he had been my comedy shows before. Like very supportive. But some people are like, "Oh, you don't want to work with me no more." Well, I wish you nothing in life.
Ooh. Yeah.
I wish you nothing but drama, and I'm gonna make sure nobody else want to work with you. Because that's how people are. You know what I'm saying? People feel like if I can't use you, I don't want nobody using you.
That's real.
That sounds too much like a relationship.
And then plus I don't want you to go tell everybody how I really am.
That's the part right there.
You want to go hit that right there?
That's the part.
You want to go hit that.
And I watched the podcast with the dude, so he was talking about how other communities where they understand when it comes to business, it's just that. And he'll say he'll sign a 2-year contract, and after 2 years they'll reassess whether they should continue on or should they go their separate ways. And even if they do, once again, it's never personal.
Yeah.
Because the assignment's done, we done what we need to do, we made the money, and now we understand that maybe we need to go somewhere else, or maybe continue on.
See, the thing is, it's okay to have good relationships with people, and then sometimes people are going to these business relationships with their own mental health issues too, and things that they're dealing with. But so it's like we going into these relationships with people. We need to understand that you, like you said, that they are business relationships. But then people bring a lot of stuff into that too. They bring a lot of emotional stuff into that, which you need to stop. We need to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to be in a business and nobody telling me I love y'all. Like that's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? Let's just handle the business at hand. You know what I'm saying? Or let's not make it just sometimes we make things too personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To where that's when we start feeling. And I think that whole hater thing too within the black community, where if somebody disagree with your idea, it's because they're hating on me. No, I'm not hating on you. I'm way too intelligent to hate on anybody in this city. Yeah. And I'm smart, but
they just might be dumb.
Yeah, no, and it's not even that it's not even that the person is dumb. It's just that they have a different way of doing things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have a different way of doing things. Because I remember me and Rick. That's why I used to like working. That's why I like working with Rick, because he's a good guy. I remember one day he called me stupid, and he was like, "Are you stupid?" And I was like, "But if it was somebody else, I'd have got mad." I was like, "No, I'm just so smart that it seemed like I'm stupid."
Yeah. Hey, listen, that might one of some people's head with that one right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I got another question for you. So I want to talk about legacy, right? Because what you're doing, how do you want people to remember you as far as professionally, but then also personally? We want the legacies to be.
Professionally, that I was always. This is something simple though. I was always on time. I want people to remember that I was always on time. I'm never.
He definitely was. He was here early too, y'all.
I have a friend. She said She wrote on Facebook the other day. She said, if Terrence late, he did. And I thought
Now that's the first I ever heard that in reverse. Woo.
yeah, so I'm always on time because you
good.
gotta consider people's time.
Yeah.
And then as far as like professionally, and as far as like socially, or what's the other word? Personally, with socially. Just remember that I mean everybody well. I put like I said something. Let me say one of my quotes. I put a lot into relationships, but I don't put a lot into relationships. Which means that if I'm like friends with you, right? I put
We don't go together no more.
Okay, we just friends now, right?
Okay.
I put a lot into this friendship but if you decide that you don't really want to be my friend no more, I'm not going to be cussing you out. I'm not going to put that much into it. So I put a lot into relationships, but I don't put a lot into relationships. It's like these are things that happen. People, seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are things that happen.
Makes sense.
That's good. Okay. And this is the great thing about our podcast is you touched on so many great things today, man. And I want someone who's watching this, they saying, you know what, I want to be a writer, I want to be a comedian, I want to be a person that is a creative, and I want to get my stuff out there. What 3 things would you like them to get from this episode that we talked about today?
Stepping outside of yourself. Sometimes even stepping outside of the fact that because we are always told, like you told you a woman, right? And you told you a black woman, right?
Sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? And you told that you told you a black man, right? Sometimes you step outside of just being those things. You an American. You a black man. You a whatever generation you are. You it makes you even more closer to somebody else that's not like you by being more things than what you are. So stepping outside yourself helps you to understand, because once you only reaching like one, you only want to reach this one group, then you got to be really entitled to just reach this one group. Another thing that you need to learn if you want to do that is, work hard.
Yeah.
Work hard. You got to work hard. And another thing is, don't look at the end every time something don't work out. Don't feel like this is the end. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Because the end could be right down the street.
Yeah.
Right when you when you quit right here, the end was like right down the street.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Listen, we got to do a part 2. Don't worry, it's gonna come, because I know, you know what I'm saying. We you know what, I've been working on different things, but we on like a book discussion, a panel or something like that. But I just want to talk about this intellectual things that we don't really get a chance to talk about with a panel of people. So I would love to have that. But let people know where they can reach you at.
You can reach me. My address is. No, I'm just playing. You can reach me on Instagram at SteelBiz, STELBIZZ. That's also my TikTok. That's also my all the social media. That's all my social media, SteelBiz. And then on Facebook is Terrence Glave, TRENCEGLAVE, and that's where you can reach me.
Yeah, get ready to learn while y'all following, by the way, because we're going to hit y'all with that knowledge, though.
Yeah.
Yes. And I want this special shout out to our special guest today or whatnot. If y'all have not got a chance to subscribe to Becoming Overcomers, my man Brian is doing this thing for just the mental health of us as the people and whatnot. And it's a great podcast to check out, man. So please subscribe, and it will be in the show notes. Also we'll have Terrence information in the show notes. And I also want to thank Samantha for coming on. And once again, if you guys need a host, you guys looking for just a phenomenal person to be part of your event, help plan it, it's a young lady to talk to.
What he said.
Yes. And by the way, y'all, let's I want to do an actual hand clap, because this is episode 99, y'all. And what we do with it? My bad.
He good.
Yeah, y'all good. No, because David Shan said something great, man. Shout out to David Shan, because he literally is the godfather of this podcast. I watch House of Proof all the time, and he said something great. He said most podcasts don't make it past episode 50, and here we are, episode almost 100. And it's because of great people like Terrence who come on or whatnot, and great hosts like you guys who come and help out or whatnot. So I want to thank the city of Cleveland and the great people who are a part of it that make this podcast possible, because without y'all, we wouldn't be here or whatnot. And I just thank once again for the support y'all show up every week or whatnot. So thank y'all. So I can't close it better than that, y'all. This is episode 99. 99, y'all. So we'll see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying? God, Lord willing, like the old people say. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all again, and peace.
It was hot.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I felt the sweat. I felt the sweat beat. I was like, please don't start.
I wanted so bad to go get my little personal fan on my bag.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Look, people always be like, you ain't Beyonce, my little fan. I be like this.
I'm
Everywhere I
sorry,
go.
y'all.
I need to follow y'all too.
I gotta follow yours.